and welcome. It's me, Brandy Smith, live in the Forbidden Library. Hello, Nimby. Hello, Tinkek. Hello, Nomosize Phantom. Hello, Maxwell. Hello, Noko-chan. Hello, any lurkers. Hello, any vodders. Welcome. It is Tuesday. Limbus Tuesday. Da 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 da. Grand return. It's Bawayani. Bayani Bo's Biff. Miff. Biff. Miff. It's very hard to say the word Smith with a B. But yeah, it's Bayani Bo's Biff. Maxwell, I feel like that refraction railway has been a main topic of conversation in my Discord at the moment. I hear there have been many struggles. The bus has struggled. The train has struggled, really, if it's the railway. It does sound like a pain in the ass. I have not done it. Go figure. Apparently there's going to be a blade lineage. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, is it the Ishmael one? I have been somewhat semi-up-to-date on things. But that should be fun. Let's go back to team 1. I was trying to make a jealousy team here with as much purple as I can physically do. But I do need to level these guys up. Not everyone's leveled. So I don't have enough people leveled on the jealousy team yet. But we'll get there. They gave the final boss of that rail an absurd amount of HP. Oh, not a HP sponge. That's just rude. That's okay. We're gonna... Twitch is on emote only. Shit. Sorry about that. That explains some things. Let's turn off emote only. There we go. Thank you for telling me, Phantom. I appreciate it. Other Phantom, not other Phantom. Yeah. Faust, your beloved. Yeah, she's very first person today. Yes, you can message on her. Thank you for letting me know about that. I put it on emote for when I was doing the 24-hour stream, but I forgot to turn it off. To be fair, if you do the gimmick right, you start dealing double damage. You do the mechanic, you do lots of damage. I see. It's okay, the other Phantom's back on Twitch. There's a separation now, it's fine. Middle... I know! I'm tempted to... I've only really have enough for like one more roll after I tried to get the Ryoshu. And I want to make a middle team. So... what if I just threw my last 10 roll out there? Why not? Currency is meant to be spent! Too late. Too late. Too late. Too late. Too late. Too late. Gregor, what are you doing here? Flower, Gregor. Flower, Gregor. It's fine. I don't need lunacy anyway. Gonthos is actually used in the middle team. Fun enough. Wonderful! Well, I got a bit of the middle team, just not the one I wanted. Yeah, the only thing that put me off actually rolling for this out is... I don't have shards. I'm poor. Far too poor to be able to shard things right now, so... You can't yet. But you will eventually. It's also fun to roll. I'm far too poor in shards to get anything, really, but I do want to. I need to... Not enough. Not enough. The only person I have enough shards to get anything for is Don Quixote. But I'm saving that for... for Whelp, so I can get Queen of Hatred. Because that's a jealousy one. I know I could go down here. Where is it? And I could get the middle baby girl. I'll be on this one. Yeah. I could get the middle little sister. But I could also wait for Queen of Hatred. Miku Miku Don. Exactly! Miku Miku Beam! Has already saved my life, to be fair. I did spam it against the time guy. But for now. Yes, I heard! Because I was thinking about that so much, because I just kind of mute battle when I'm not when I'm playing on my own, because like it's just words I don't know the meaning of. So it'd be really cool to see what they're saying and get more of a flavor of what's going on. But for now, at least we have cutscenes. Let's go. Painting of Hell. What do you mean? This isn't the Hell screen. That's the wrong canto. Oh yes, but oh no. Deploy, but put the ego on. Yeah. I'm getting an echo. There we go, that's why. Because I could hear it through OBS as well. So I was hearing a weird echo. Oh look! Guys! Aggressive blood bag passengers. Well, I have an aggressive set of IDs. I think Twitch did jump, unfortunately. Blunt Envy is recommended. Unfortunately, we can't do recommended right now. I need to apply myself to grinding a little more. I will not lie, but I'm so bad at grinding. I lack dedication when it comes to grinding. I just need to do the mirror dungeon more, at the very, very least. We learned a thing. It's a thesis. So I like being in voice. That's not all I'm grinding. Yeah, they did do some boss fights, so you can understand what they're saying during the boss fight, because that's plot relevant. But now we get everything. Whatever weird little mumble. To be fair, I can't read everything they say. I probably wouldn't get won't be able to read it fast enough anyway. I feel like that with the announcer stuff. Like I don't have time to read it properly. I appreciate there's a translation anyway. Painting of Hell 2! That was quick. There's just a bunch of battles. That's fine. That I can win right through. Win right. Win right. Win right. Win right. Whee! Sure. Does that mean we'll get close to actually starting the next canto today? I'm not ready. Like, I'm not mentally prepared. But I don't have House of Spiders Ryoshu. We failed to get her last time. But I guess I need to get some Ryoshu shots. That's the next target then. He had a weird team this part because the Heisho's went out. Yeah, back. Mine is a little bit weird. We have Heishos and a couple of mob bosses. Oh, the fight dialogue. Yeah, I hope so. I'm a bit of a slow reader. It's like I can't. By the time Nettie does that, and I'm like focused on what I'm doing, I don't get like to read all of it. And stuff like that happens. It's like, oh, so much going on the screen. Hard to focus. Exactly, Max. I'm in a vicious cycle. To get Ryoshu, I gotta do mirror dungeons. But to do mirror dungeons fast, I need Ryoshu, so I've just got to deal with it. I do have this Ryoshu though, and she's very cool. I like her a lot.
사실은 그렇게 대단한 일도 아니에요.
Die, Bloodbay.
혹시 칭찬을 받았다면
Die.
벨라님이나 마이컨트를 부르는 넌 소용을 틔울 수도 없지. 제가 아니라.
Look at these characters fighting at the same time.
그렇게 서
Like
있으면
Heisho's fights
목이
have like
부러질
double
수가.
team attacks, but it's almost like see them all fighting together and stuff. It's fun. Imagine reading what Herbert of Teacup is. It's like yeah, Herbert of Teacup going at his full true speed. Not just going at your speed because he wants to actually interact with you. Going as fast as he fucking wants to.
그렇게 서 있으면
I have not played out a while. I know it is a time loop game though.
이것밖에 못하는.
Although it has been recommended to me a lot. So it might be something I pick up for a stream at some point. I feel like if I ever put it on the vote for a stream game, it will be voted. It's very beloved.
이제야 회사가 정상으로 돌아갔네. 이번 제압은 끝이야. 너희들도 고생 많았어.
Yeah, I had this very long.
전투하는 건 제법 지치는 것 같아요.
Battling narrow hallway really takes a lot out of you.
어쩔 수 없어요.
Can't be
저희같이
helped.
긴 무기를 쓰는 사람들은
Fighting in narrow hallways
좁은
like these
곳에서
are pretty exhausting
금방
for people who use
지치기
long
마련이니까요.
weapons like we do. These enemies weren't much harder than the ones we fought earlier, but it was inevitable that the sheer number would eventually wear the sinners down. Hello, Mark. Welcome.
파우스트 씨, 저들 정체는 대체
Oh,
무엇일까요?
what are these things, Faust?
그래, 나도 아까부터
Yeah, I've been
궁금했다고.
wondering that
왜 안
too.
알려주는 건데?
Why are you so tight-lipped all of a sudden?
저것들은
Those entities are.
저것들은
Those entities are.
어떤 존재라고 생각하시나요?
What do you think those entities are? There, they're back.
네?
Huh?
그걸 방금 제가 물어보지 않았나요?
Didn't I just ask you the same question?
아니면 설마
Oh no, are you
저희에게 먼저 생각해볼 기회를
giving us
주시는
a
건가요?
chance to come up with our own answers first? Sinclair, you sweetie. Faust is giving us a chance? Oh. Of course, Faust did not confirm nor deny his question, but Sinclair was perfectly capable of making up his own interpretations of her silence. There was
여러 번
something I learned
싸워보니까
after fighting them, I
알 것 같
think.
이 괴물들은
These monsters aren't
저희에게 화가 나 있거나
mad at us,
방해되는 존재라서
nor do they want to
덤벼드는
attack
느낌이
us
아닌 것
because we're an
같아요.
obstacle. That's not why they're attacking
맞네.
us.
이들은 굶주리기라도
Quite,
한데
quite.
뭔가
Tis
이상한
apparent
맹렬히
that they
돌진하고 있었네.
hunger for aught. Charging at anyone and anything in a desperate quest of it.
맞아요. 이
Right.
열차 안에서는
That's
배고픔도
strange. I
목마름도
thought,
느껴지지 않을
strange though, I
텐데.
thought hunger or thirst wasn't a thing aboard these trains.
공격 패턴이 이성적인 판단에 기반하지 않았다. 그저 본능적인 공격성을
Yeah, they are
우리를
becoming a
향해
little
발산하고 있다고밖에 해석되지 않는군.
decorated, aren't they? We love Innocent Sinclair. Yeah, have a kitty sticker for your ex. Polearm. It could be determined that the entity's behavior, from the entity's behavior, that their attack patterns have no basis in rational thought. The source of this behavior can only be tracked to primal aggressiveness. Oh.
그리고 또 뭐가 있었죠?
Yes, and was there anything else?
그리고
Anything else?
그리고
Yeah, I think they all had red eyes.
신체 대부분에 붓지 않은 곳이
Their bodies
없었어.
wreathed in blankets of red.
냄새는 피 냄새다.
I smelled
피로
blood.
만들었겠지.
So that's likely what they're made of.
그러하다면 피가 굳은
Then it must be the
결정적인
red was
느낌이라고 해야
congealed.
바를 테지.
Nay, crystallized blood.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you all.
모두들
Your insights have
유용한
been very helpful.
정보였습니다.
It was my turn to start whispering. What did you learn from that?
이번엔 운이 좋았습니다, 단테.
We are in luck, Dante.
열차에 탑승하기 전
I have read upon
다음
this subject
행선지를 위한
as a
정보를
tangent
열람하던
while
도중
pursuing information regarding our
곁다리로
next
읽어둔
destination.
지식이
Of course you
쓸모있는
did,
것으로
because our destination has blood fiends, and this may be blood fiends and blood fiends and blood fiends and blood fiends and blood fiends. Moments before we boarded the train, and while that will be a useful element in resolving the situation,
단테의 조언대로
the sinners have
수감자들
also
또한
been a very good
유익한
source of
정보를
intelligence
추려내는데
when it comes to
큰
categorizing
도움이
and
되었습니다.
identifying important evidence from the available sea of information. Your advice was correct, Dante. You mean you know what to do to blow this case wide open?
그렇게 장담할 수는 없습니다만
Nothing can be said with absolute
적어도
certainty at the
시작점으로서는
moment.
기능할
However, this
테죠.
would be a good place for us to start. With that, Faust turned around and faced the rest of the sinners.
지금부터 이
I will
상황을
now
타개할
present
방법을
before you
제시하겠습니다.
a solution to this predicament.
그냥 쭉쭉 뚫고
Huh?
가는 것 말고도
Is
뭐가
there
있는
something
거야?
else we gotta do other than beating the crap out of whatever's in our way?
그 자체는 바뀌지 않을 테지만
That will not change, no.
결과적으로
However,
이번
what I am
의뢰의
about to
목적이
share will
무엇인지,
give you a better understanding of the purpose
어떻게
behind
W사의
W Corp's
의뢰를 완수할
contract
수
and
있는지에 대한
providing us
바닥을
with possible
잡을 수
means
있을
of
겁니다.
finding the method by which we may complete it. Faust, a W Corp ID that Faust probably has the worst Getchel connection. If you think of that, is the most like independent Faust. Who's like, can we get on another train? The Discord's popping off and I hate it.
이번 열차 그리고
It is very likely
지속적으로
that the
워크
entity
열차에서
behind the
비슷한
instance on
사건을
this
일으킨
train,
존재는
and by extension every instant of the same nature that has occurred in the previous warp train trips,
매우 높은 확률로
is a blood fiend.
혈귀입니다.
Called it! Even though it's, you know, incredibly obvious. Maybe it wasn't obvious. One, to people who, before the Canto came out, one. And two, if you didn't play Ruiner again. Because I know
빗물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면
that that's what Blood
홍로는
Fiend stuff
그제야
looks like
알게
because
되겠지.
of Ruiner.
이 홍로가
But if you hadn't played Ruiner, or you didn't know that we're heading to a Blood Fiend Canto, then you wouldn't know. How, Shadow Roach? Hello, Miss Streamer. Are you warp training? We're doing the time warp again. Kinda. Yeah, I tried to put a lot of red on. Purple! Not red, purple. I know I need to level. Shut up.
필두
Stop it.
출진
I'll get to it. I promise. I promise I'll train. I promise. Wait, a blood fiend? What's a blood fiend? I would like some explanation to this too, because all I know is that it exists. And the last time we saw one in Ruiner, we also saw one on train.
혈기가 대체
A blood fiend? What in the name of the wings is that? Don, shut up.
네가 모를 줄은 몰랐는데.
You of all people haven't heard of blood fiends.
뭐든지 알고 있는 줄 알았어.
Thought you were our team expert on obscure lore.
듣도 못했다만
Verily, I have neither read nor heard of the mention of blood fiends. Perchance I have let a magazine article slip from my memory. Don Quixote furrowed her brows, genuinely lost. It was as though the very word sounded alien to her. Unless... Yeah, Lolan and his wife fought one, and then I fought one. And then that one... well, blood fiendiness is how we got to blood fiendiness and puppeteedness is how we got to Mary in the first place. Hello, C86, welcome. Fiends made of blood, exactly. Eleanor! That's the lady. That's the one I'm thinking of. Unless Don Quixote has some, like, self-imposed amnesia. Because obviously we're reading Don Quixote at the moment, so I know how deep Don Quixote's delusions go. To the point he truly sees the world in that knightly way, seeing the windmills as giants, etc. So maybe Don's fully so deluded that she's forgotten she's a blood fiend. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
저도 현실에 존재하는 줄은 몰랐어요.
I thought they were just monsters and stories to scare children at night. They're supposed to be afraid of garlic and sunlight, right? They are strange. It's like it was some old Abno which turned some folks into blood fiends, and also now humans could distort them somehow too. Don has the whimsy filter. Exactly. The whimsy colored glasses.
아, 제가 들은
That's
이야기랑은
a
좀
bit different from what
다르네요.
I've heard.
제가
I've heard
듣기로는
their fear of
햇빛이나
garlic
마늘은
and sunlight is just a
뜬소문이고
rumor.
오히려 물을
And what they're really afraid
무서워한다던데요.
of is water. East and West sort of theories about vampires here. Smile and wave, boys, smile and wave.
혈기에 대한
I have been briefed on the existence of blood fiends in the past
지휘관이던
when I
시절에
served as a commanding officer,
그들이 부린다는 부산물
and I have seen the
본 적이
dregs that they command.
기억이 흐릿하지만
Though my memory
이런
isn't very
형태는 분명
clear,
아니었을
I
텐데
am quite certain that these monsters here do not resemble what I've seen.
손가락에도 혈기라는 놈이
There was a
있었지.
blood fiend among the ranks of
저런
fingers
고무장갑
too.
같은 것들을 부리진
But the things
않았지만
that blood fiend commanded were rubber glove looking. Weren't rubber glove looking like these.
하지만 좀 걸리는군.
There's something off about this
그놈은
one.
이렇게 마구잡이로 찌꺼기를 늘리진 않았다.
That one didn't spawn these dregs with abandon like
내
this.
놈도 알고 있지 않나?
But don't you know this already?
네,
Yes.
수감자 내에도
I see that some
경험한 분들이
sinners have
있었군요.
encountered blood fiends in the past.
설명이 길지
A
않아도
long-winded
되겠습니다.
explanation seems unnecessary.
말씀하시는 대로
As many of you have
저희가
stated thus
마주한
far,
적들은
the entities we've faced
그
in this
자체는
train do not
아니라고
appear to be
보여집니다.
blood fiends.
혈기의 권속이
In a
되지 못한
sense, they are
찌꺼기
dreg-like
같은 존재.
beings that have failed to
관계자
become
사이에선
kindreds. They are referred to as
피조물이라고
blood
표현되는
bags
정보가 있었습니다.
among relevant parties, according to information that I'm aware of.
그럴듯한
Not a
이름이지.
terrible name. Why would anyone name someone Bloodbag?
처음에 이야기했던
As
대로
it has been said prior, it
통상적인
is
방법으로는
impossible for
워프
passengers to
열차 내에서
disappear aboard
승객이
warp
사라질 수
trains
없습니다.
under normal
워프
circumstances.
열차나
Though
W사에
our
대한
reserve-
모든 것을 알 수는 없어도
Through our reserve of intelligence
저희가 갖고
regarding
있는
warp
정보가 꽤
trains or
많음에도
W Corp is
예외를 찾아낼
vast
수
if
없었죠.
incomplete. We could not find any exception to the above rule.
거기서 저는 아직
Within
저희가 한
that
번도
reverse
마주하지 않았던 존재를 문의
Reserve of
안에
intelligence,
끼워넣었을
however,
때
I have discovered
한
that
가지 추측이
inserting a
성립된다는
previously
걸
unseen
파악했습니다.
variable into the equation allows for the formulation of a new hypothesis.
그럼 그 혈기라는 곳은
They make blood fiends sound so cool, like,
승객들을
yeah,
아예
yeah,
없었던
vampires,
곳으로
everyone
만들
knows
수
about.
있다는
But everyone
이야기인가?
does know about vampires. But the law's not quite right, which is exactly what this is. I'm not saying the vampire is real, that's just what they're going with. And what a lot of fantasy things tend to go with. It's like, yeah, okay, we all know about vampires, but... Wait, you're saying these blood fiends can completely erase people or passengers from existence?
휘발된다는 쪽에
A more
가까울
accurate
것 같군요.
descriptor would be to say that they either dissolve or vaporize.
제발.
Dissolve?
워프 열차는
No matter the degree
승객들끼리
of violence
온갖
the passengers
폭력적인
may
일을
indulge in,
벌이더라도
no matter how severe
본래대로
their
돌려놓을
wounds
수
may be,
있습니다.
warp trains can revert them back to their initial state at the beginning of the journey.
폭력이라는 것에는
While the
여러
word
가지가
violence
있겠지만
is rather a
그중
large umbrella term,
식인도
it likely involves
분명
activities
존재하겠죠.
such as cannibalization. Yeah, that is what would happen in a warp train at some point. Someone's definitely eaten someone on a warp train.
하지만 열차 운행간
However,
시간이
as the
유예된
passengers'
승객들이
collective
소화의 과정 또한 이루어지지 않는 것과
time
마찬가지일 테니
itself is in
결국 복구할 수 있는 상태였을
mortinarium
겁니다.
for the duration of the train's operation. Digestion is not a biological process that should be active. In other words, even cannibalized passengers can be reconstructed.
그저
Well,
입에
if they are
쑤셔
merely
넣었을 뿐이라면
stuffed into the
뱃속을 갈라낸 그
digestive
핏줄
tract,
같은
then I
것으로
suppose
연결된 조각들을
they
맞춰볼 수
could gut the
있었겠지.
passengers and retrieve the chewed up chunks and piece them back together via the vein-like things connecting each individual. That is awful! Ugh. Warp trains are the worst! Time mortarium mechanic on a teapot corpse skill. Ah. What else is there to eat on a warp train? Eat nothing! You're not supposed to eat anything on a warp train! And then there's the Abno Nosferatu that guys like to question the chicken and the egg.
하지만 피주머니들은 다릅니다.
However, such is not true for blood
맹목적으로
bags.
피를
Blood
찾아가는
bags,
이들은
by their
희생자의
nature,
혈액을
obsessed
흡수함으로써
with blood. Their
자신들의
existence
존재를 유지할
hinges
수
on
있고
supplying themselves with the blood of their victims.
유지비로
And it is
혈액
said
또한
that they must
조금씩
consume a
소비한다고
minuscule
합니다.
amount of blood to maintain their forms.
방금은
Wait, what?
소화는
Didn't you
하지
just say
않는다.
that digestion's not a thing here?
추론해 보자면
If I were to continue my
피주머니에게
deductions, perhaps
혈액은
consumption
단순히
of blood
에너지를
for
얻기
blood
위한 식사의
fiends
과정과는
and blood
다른 것
bags is a
같습니다.
process fundamentally different from our consumption of nutrients for energy.
그들에게 혈액이란
To them, blood is a
감정,
culmination,
성취,
an
돈, 존재의
entailment of
자신들을
something that
유지하기 위한
forms
많은
self,
것들이 포함되어 있는
including
무언가.
but not limited to
그렇기에
emotions, ambitions,
마음
wealth,
먹는다면
purpose of
혈액을 소비할
existence.
수 있고
Then it must follow
소화 따위의
that
과정과는
they
별개로 이루어질
can
것입니다.
spend their blood at will, which is a process isolated from other biological processes such as digestion.
그 뭐냐 무슨 소리인지 절반도 못 알아들었거든.
Then you're not on a warp train, normal size phantom. Congrats, you can go eat what you want. Not people though, okay? Not people. If you can't get hungry going into a warp train, you probably can't get filled in a warp train. So be sure to eat some snacks before boarding. Oh god, to be hungry that whole time and never be able to satisfy it. Just when you think you couldn't get any worse. I ain't following even half of that.
지금 시간이
You exist
유예되었습니다.
in a
히스클리프 군은 화를
moratoria of
내거나
time at the present
슬퍼하거나
moment,
또는
Heathcliff.
기뻐할 수
Yet your
있지 않은가.
emotions still persist, do they not? Anger, sorrow, and joy. They continue to spark within you.
Huh?
Huh? Well,
뭐 그렇긴
suppose they
한데
are.
그것이 변한 것인지
Although we cannot tell
생멸하는
whether
것인지는
they
알
are
수
in a state
없으나
of alteration, or
지나간
whether they
감정은
remain
사라졌다고도
ensnared
볼 수
in the
있을
wheel
터.
of creation and destruction. It can be said that emotions once past exist not in continuation. Counterpoint. Eat the greatest tasting sweet of all time, then board the warp train. It tastes like it for eternity. But then you get sick of it! Back in Library Ruiner, Olga had a hangover when she entered the warp train. That's true! That's true! Fuck, poor Olga. No wonder she wanted to get off so fast. Fuck it, the library's better. That's the problem with warp trains. They're never so bad. They can't even get worse. It can always get. These are all minor things you're describing that would make the trains so much worse.
승객들의 살아갈
The passengers
의지와
will to live.
존재의 가치 또한
The worth
멈춘
of
시간
this
속에서도
very
점차 사라지지
existence in
않소.
which they thrive does not
혈귀에게
all
혈액이란
gently
그러한
atrophy
것이라고
into non-existence.
파우스트 양은
Even
설명한
amidst
것이요.
the ceased time, Miss Faust seeks to illustrate the similarity between how emotions are to ourselves and how blood is to blood fiends.
그런가?
got
그래서 바로
ya. So that's why they say
휘발된다
their blood
이거구만.
is vaporized, huh?
승객의 구성 묘소.
If that's the case,
살점들과
then
이어진 혈액도
the
사라져서
very blood that's
살점에
supposed to
불어모을 수
bind
없을
these
거고요.
chunks of flesh together will also evaporate, which means that they can't be pieced back together.
논지에 어긋남이 없군.
There is no incongruence in that logic. Everyone fell silent for a moment. That was way too much information to process at once. We didn't even know what to make of them either.
질문을 몇 가지
I would like
하고
to ask a
싶소.
few questions if you would permit me. Yi Sang was the first to break the silence. Today I'm going to turn 100 people into square, circle, and triangle shapes. Yeah! No! Mr. Beast Warp Train Challenge. No, because people aren't allowed to know about the Warp Train. Mr. Beast would get shut down. Me taking 64 tabs of acid for boarding the Warp Train. Take the ticket, ride the ride, buckaroos. No.
피주머니라 하는 존재는
It could be said
혈기가
that blood
직접
bags
만드는
are
것이오.
direct creations of blood
만약
fiends.
그렇다면
If such
어떠한
is the case,
방식으로?
then which is the method do they? That is
거기까지는
information that is
정보의
inaccessible at the
접근이
moment.
제한되었군요.
Faust replies, avoiding Yisang's gaze. There isn't anything I can do about this. The sinners will only get more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust. And that's something we both want to avoid. No, I think you need to be more honest, because the sinners are just getting more worried about it. They're just like, something's wrong with Faust. We all know there's something wrong with Faust. Bring secretly your fellow color fixer so he can teach you this cool kung fu for thousands of years. Now that is a good use of warp train time, but you will forget about it theoretically when you get off, so. But then will you have the muscle memory?
그렇군.
And then if you try to do the training, when you get out of it, will you suddenly be good at it because you did the muscle memory training? Question mark? Question mark? As long as you don't fuck up your body, they won't reset your body. As long as it's not injured, right? That actually happened. That's the way Virgilus has to go sleep in the Virgilus has to go on a completely different train. Teach you cool kung fu and perform cool words. Perform cool kung fu on you. The incident where R-Corp got involved. Fight your way past the cleanup staff at R-Corp. He got the super duper you get your own train first class, he did, yeah.
추측이지만
This is only speculation, however. I assume that a form of direct physical contact is needed to turn an individual into a blood
가장
bag.
성가신 존재인
If
저희가
such were not the
멀쩡한 것이
case, then we,
말이 되지 않을
who
테니까요.
are likely the greatest obstacles to this entity's goal at the moment, would have been the first ones to be turned.
일리 있어.
Indeed.
그렇다면 그
In that case, that villain of a blood fiend must be hiding somewhere aboard this train.
그렇겠죠.
Indeed.
조금 전에 보았던
If we are to be
해결사의 말을
believed, the
신뢰한다면
words of the fixer from
이
earlier,
피조mon이들이
there is a
몰려오는
high
건
likelihood that the
열차의
horde is
뒷칸부터.
advancing in this direction from the back of the
즉,
train. In other
나아가다
words,
보면
continuing down the
반드시 그
train cars
혈기를
will lead us
마주하게 될
straight to the
것입니다.
blood fiend.
좋네.
Very well. I shan't forsake this opportunity to bring peace to the souls of the innocent passengers who have perished at this villain's hands.
단테.
Dante. Don Quixote's blood fiend. It seems that Don Quixote was now invigorated, while the other sinners also appear rather satisfied now that we had a clearer sight of our goal. Faust, who stood amidst them, nodded in my direction. Well then, let's go. We're making the best of what's available to us at the moment. Let's move forward for now. It's okay, Faust, we got your back. You resist the brainwash. Resist the brainwash by kung fuing every warp agent on you until they call the R-Corp. Where do I read this silly story about the color fixer on the train? I need to know.
전탄격발.
I need this law. I need this law.
제압 개체에게 맞는 정상적인 공격이야. 제압 효과가 굉장히 좋았어.
I read all of them and I can't remember it. I read all the Library of Runa books. Fuck. I just didn't remember it then.
나선 속을 벗어날 수
No way I didn't read that. I read every single book of Runa. Let's see his page. I'm gonna double check that.
또 대단한 일이라도 하신 거겠죠.
But I definitely read it. I definitely read it.
해보겠네.
I just forget. Because I have the memory of a gold.
저 해충들을 도려내라.
Kick butt, Mal.
묘야.
It's kind of funny she can get access to IDs, which is kind of mirror world. Get access to the powers of the mirror world versions of her, but she can't get access to the Discord of the mirror world versions of her.
관찰 기록을 잘 읽은 것 같네.
Yeah, I imagine it is. I imagine I just read it over and just forgot it. Maybe I'm not sure I had the context as to why that was important at the time. Because I didn't think I even knew what R-Corp was at the time. I wonder if we'll ever see any R-Corp in Limbus. Do you think we'll ever piss someone off so hard they call R-Corp on us?
목이 떨어질 수밖에.
So you didn't open the curtains and you missed the experiments?
사실은 그렇게 대단한 일도 아니에요.
It is hard.
혹시 칭찬을 받았다면 엔젤라는 마이크를 부르는 편이 나았을 거예요. 제가 아니라요. 토끼를 본다.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Exactly, we have R-Corp IDs, so I thought when I was starting, because we had some R-Corp IDs, that we'd encounter R-Corp, but we haven't. But R-Corp goes after like bigger threats, like they were called in for a color fix, that kind of thing, big threat. And we're not really a big threat yet. Yet. Give it time.
정상으로 돌아갔네. 이번 제압은
We aren't so
끝이야.
cool to waste bullets on us.
너희들도
Exactly,
고생
we're not
많았어.
really
티피리트,
a
너도.
big thing in this city at all.
언젠가 우리도
Which is
모든
so
게
funny
끝날
compared
때가
to
오면
Ruin.
좋겠네. 그때가 되면 휴식을 기다리며
Right, we get the star of the city.
또한줄
We're so
길을
powerful.
남겼군. 핏물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면
Sinners
홍어는
are sadly
그제야
somewhere
알게
in Urban
되겠지.
Nightmare. Yeah, we're not high.
이 홍로가
It's also weird that we've gotten 5 R-Corp IDs and 3 of them are reindeer. Why we got so many reindeer? Where's my bunnies? You think we're urban legend right now? I see. Oh, we get to meet a cleanup agent? Yeah.
뱀 중에서도 내가 제일이지. 해보겠네.
Cleanup agents come in at the end.
목을 떨궈주마.
We need R-Corp upscale. Yes! Nikolai Altus would be so good.
실패할 수도
Would that be a WoW ID maybe? If we don't get like any actual R-Corp stuff, would that end up being a WoW ID?
효과가 굉장히 좋았어.
But then WoW IDs have been like mostly the egos, except for maybe, with the exception of the Philip Sinclair, which just fits so perfectly. Nikolai Altus would be so good. You can see that happening in like 2 WoWs.
아까 어떤
What are your predictions for the next WoW?
나
What was
선속을
the last one we
벗어날
had? We had...
왜 부서팀이랑을 안 알아듣지?
It wasn't the magic. These janitors are equipped with space-ripping technology. What are these guys cleaning? People!
당연한 걸 한 것 가지고 굳이 칭찬할
Something
필요 없어.
from SOTC. Index proxies. Oh, that's true. Do you think we'd get a Gloria? Next one, Bina is gonna be the next announcer. Bina floor. Who gets the burb? Who gets to? Can we Don Quixote punishment burb? Punishment burb. Oh, Roger would also make a good punishment burb. Who else would make a good Bill burbs? Lob Bina.
아직 징수할 내역이 남았으니 쓰는 맛이야.
Yeah, because Don Quixote is so sweet, and then it's like, haha, Gregor Big Burb. Yes.
대단한 일도 아니에요.
Apocalypse Gregor.
혹시 칭찬을 받았다면
That'd be so good.
토끼를 본이 나았을 거예요.
don't know why.
저 해충들을 도려내라. 묘여. 길을 열어라.
잘 들어갈래요. 크게 의미 있는 성과는 아니지만.
Unless someone just straight up gets a Bina ID. Because Bina's pretty cool. Although maybe she's a little too powerful to get as an actual ID. But I would like someone to have fairies. That would be nice. I would like Honglu to get the Bina ID maybe. I'm not sure if it really fits, but I think he'd look really good in the outfit. He would look so good. Bina's way too powerful for an ID right now. Yeah, I can dream though.
토끼를 본다.
It'd be really cool if Honglu got just a nearly ego. Oh, that would be good. We'd have to do another tippy floor for that though, wouldn't we? Arbiters would be Kanto 12 or some shit. Yeah, probably. If not higher. Arbiters are really scary.
이번 제압은 끝이야. 너희들도 고생 많았어.
뚜뚜뚜뚜.
너도.
Manager Esquire, halt! Behold this poor fellow. He lives still. Oh look, he got the body armor of a cleanup officer there. That's not cool. Suddenly one day my Leo IDs would be a we are fire. I mean, yeah, we'd have to get like a Zhao or something before we even got anywhere near. I mean, the fact that we had Philip already. Fucking Philip, he won't die. He's even in Limbus, for fuck's sake. Don Quixote, her round eyes wide open, began sprinting somewhere. Right now we're getting IDs that will belong to Star City Row 1, so it's not unthinkable to get an Arbiter ID in Kanto 12. Fair enough. No, stay away from me, you monsters! Hey man, we're not those monsters. Are you alright? Huh? That arm, you're starting to mutate too, aren't you? You must be turning into some bug-like monster. What? No.
아니야, 이거는
Gregor stumbled for words, coughed, and then cast his gaze towards the floor in disbelief. Oh, no surprise.
그래,
I guess.
뭐
I suppose
착각할
there's
만도
no
하지.
way
이게 뭐 의체인지
tell
괴물인지
quickly whether this is
한눈에 봐서 알 수가 있나?
arms a monster, a prosthetic, or whatnot.
같은
Sorry,
생체형
Gregor.
의완이더라도
It's
이렇게
possible
투박한
that you are
구형물들은
mistaken
최근
due
도시에서
to
보기 드물기
his
때문에 착각할 수도
biopprosthetic
있다.
being of an older, outdated make that is now rarely seen in the city. A prosthetic?
다행이네요. 전 또 그 미친 놈들이 쳐들어올까봐.
Could we get Hannah IDs?
다리도 이 모양이라 여기 숨어 있을 수밖에 없었거든요.
I want a Hannah ID. It'd be funny if we meet Zhao and Lowell in Limbus. I want to meet Zhao and Lowell. I want them to have a baby. I want them to have a baby. But I hope they finally chill and nest together forever. Exactly! I want them to settle down and they have a little kid and it would be so nice and it would make me so happy. That's a relief. I thought those crazy bastards were trying to break in again. As you can see, my legs are messed up. I had no choice but to hide in here.
그런데 W사 직원들이
So what are the W Corp employees doing aboard this train? The problem... Exactly! They're unemployed, but they're very, very skilled. So, I mean, they could probably get a job somewhere else. And then they can go have a baby. And it's fine. I mean, if... Theory. So... What if Zhao gets a color designation? She unlocked ego, and I assume even getting booked and stuff, she doesn't not unlock that ego. I'm glad you're enjoying the Wuthering Heights stream. Oh fuck, Kathy Heathcock, no, is in fact specific, yes. Probably the most repeated sentence in that whole 24-hour stream. If we get Eugen ID, she needs to be fire She-Faust. Exactly, she has the combat strength to get a color. So what if she gets a color designation? And that way she gets work because colors are very spenny. So she can get work. And Lowell can stay home as a house husband and look after the baby. Maybe she can get black. I mean, Crimson's open as far as I know. No, Vermilion is open. As far as I know, no one took that after the Vermilion Cross got murdered. Huh, you're right. From what we found out about warp trains, though, through the identities, I can't imagine why anyone would willingly board this train. You're the contract fixers, right?
저희는 당신들을 도와서 사건을 해결하라는 명령을 받았습니다.
We were ordered to assist with your contract.
저희
I said we, but I'm the only one left. Every single one of my colleagues suddenly began losing their minds in that car over there. This cannot be, Faust! Is there truly no way to cure the blood bags?
죄송합니다. 그
My
정보도
apologies. The access to that
아직
information is
열람할 수
prohibited at the moment as well. Though her voice and expression were both serene as always, there was something gloomy in the way she said it.
파우스트에게 너무 많은 부분을 의지하고 있었을지도 모르겠군요.
I may have been too reliant on Faust in too many places. Faust muttered in a barely audible volume. I don't know what I can do to help the sinners in a situation like this either. I also have grown too used to Faust's omniscience, because I could always trust it to be there for me. I was starting to realise that I don't have the means to dig myself out of a hole like this. No. Maybe I was too reliant on the sinners as a whole. If when the time comes for them to depend on me, when they can no longer stand on their own, can I really manage them? Lead them to the right choices? Doubt, coloured with fear, begins to rise like an ominous plume of smoke. Well, what can I do right now? Exactly, relying on AI makes you dumb. The agent struggled to some corner of the room with his wounded leg and pulled on a lever. They made good use of this space. And the wall behind what had initially appeared to be a folding chair for employees spun open. Oh, what in the name of the wings is this? Perchance hast thou hidden there a weapon most powerful, a weapon most feared by the blood fiends?
1등석에서 본 캡슐이랑 비슷하게 보이긴
That
하는데.
holds some resemblance to a capsule we saw in the first class car. But why would that thing be here? The cleanup entrance slumped into that pod where that appeared in the wall. Finally. What is it that thou seekest to do?
이런 상황을 위해
W Corp prepared a small hibernation pod for employees in case of these emergencies. Verily, then
그럼
good luck with the rest of the mission. I don't fucking blame him at all. With that, he settled into the capsule and shut the hatch behind him. When the door covering the pod closed, only the folding chair and the wall covered with viscera remained. He's gone.
갔어.
There he goes.
가버리셨군요.
He has departed the scene. We blankly stared at the wall the agent disappeared into. Well then, I guess we gotta... Let's move to the next car. Keep on keeping on. This is this! That is that. That's not gonna look on the company performance. It's
또 한
not.
줄
But like,
길을
he
담겨.
ran like a bitch.
핏물진
Next
기록뿐이지.
car.
세월이 지나면 홍어는 그제야
Fight,
알게
fight, fight,
되겠지.
fight, fight, fight. I'm gonna have to do some training or I'm gonna get my ass handed to me in the next
이
canto.
자리에 서 있게 해달라고 바란 적은
Oh, it's
없었어요.
W Corp people now. Hungering blood bag cleanup agent. Yay! Imagine the feeling of you're about to sneeze.
토끼를
Fuck! Why do you keep thinking of such nightmare scenarios? That going like for thousands of years. What the
이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나
awful. You guys are so good at thinking up nightmares. Just minor inconveniences stretch for 1,000 years.
기록적인 피해량인 것 같다. 해보겠네.
Although I do love this is only 3 days in to the 1,000-year
이
journey
정도
these
탕류의
guys can take.
허덕이나
Warp train, you forgot to clip your nails. That one wouldn't be too bad because your nails won't grow because they're gonna be long. But then I suppose you couldn't clip them because it's the same. Would it be the same as blood? If you tried to cut your hair in a warp train, would it cut? Or would the fibers just like stretch? I don't know. Because if you can cut off your arm in a warp train, it's just the blood that kind of congeals together. I have many of them. I don't want the answers. We have questions for science, but sometimes science goes too far. But your feelings not pause like that. Just remove what makes you sneeze in your nose. Isn't it? I mean, I think I probably end up chopping my nose off at some point. But you still feel the pain, don't you? You still feel the feeling of it.
목을 떨궈주마.
Because the need to sneeze isn't an emotion. It's a physical reaction to your body going, bitch, you need to sneeze. So it's more like the pain of it, I guess.
아까 어떤 직원이
It would end up feeling like
대체
pain
한 번에
eventually.
토끼를
피해를 잠깐
저 해충들을 도려내라.
왜 부설팀장을 안 달아줬지?
묘야. 길을 열어. 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나
벗어날 수 있다고 생각해.
그렇게 살지. 목이 떨어져 있어. 전탄격발.
These questions demand answers. We must take the warp train. We will need controlled trials and multiple trips. Fuck that shit. Imagine having a rash when you board the warp train. Ugh. A rash, a headache, a runny nose,
받아볼 테니까.
a cough, a mild ailment, back pain. Olga felt drunk because her body stopped metabolizing alcohol dust in nose.
고작 이 정도
So,
탕류의
not so
허덕은
complicated, I
숨을
guess.
틔울 수도
Yeah.
없겠구나.
이제야 회사가 정상으로 돌아갔네.
Permanent itch for
이번
1,000
제압은
of
끝이야.
years.
너희들도 고생 많았어.
That's the worst.
특별히
It's
트,
getting
너도.
worse. And yet people board this train and they don't
언젠가
know the
우리도
consequences
모든 게
of their
끝날 때가 오면
actions and the
좋겠네.
trauma that they
그때가
get.
되면 휴식을 기다리며
Ugh.
고향의 노래를 부르고 있겠지.
And I hate thinking that wasn't even Olga's first trip on a warp train. She knew. She had that bad feeling every time she got on a warp train because she's been through it before.
길을 남겼군.
She just doesn't remember.
핏물진
Oh,
기록뿐이지만
no, wait.
세월이
wait.
지나면
Stuff.
홍어는
gatcha!
그제야 알게 되겠지. 이 홍루가
Only 600 more. We can roll again.
바꾼지를.
It's awful.
사냥감인가?
I love how these trains are just getting worse and worse the further we go down.
이 자리에 서 있게 해달라고 바란 적은 없었어요.
So they're like thrall. A lot of stories call them like ghouls. Ghouls is another word for these kind of things, isn't it? Fail to become vampires. I'm curious on what it means as kindred. Got blood beams, kindreds, and blood. So kindreds are like sired vampires, I guess. Maybe? I don't know.
아까 어떤 직원이 제 앞 개체에 한 번에 입힌 피해량이야. 잠깐. 진짜? 왜 부서 팀장을 안 달아줬지?
Did I not leave you back in the other car? What are you doing here? Just get used to people being triangles for years. No, triangles for some years, squares for some other years. They explain it more at part 1 of Canto 7. I expect so. I'm just very curious. I'm trying to like keep in memory of all this because I mean it's all going to be very relevant to me, and I look forward to finding out. Kindreds are like family members. I assume so, but I don't know specifics of the lore yet. And I look forward to finding it out. I'm just thinking out loud about it is all.
시비수에게 명한다. 이 아픈 진짜.
And I'm thinking the vampires can be kind of fun. I'm very curious to get more details about the vampires of the city. You'll find kindreds are kind of red. Who knows what that means? Red-eyed, definitely.
어렵지 않지? 이미 관찰 기록에 있는 유형대로만 공격하면 되잖아. 관찰 기록을 잘 읽은 것 같네.
이것밖에 못하나?
그 누구도 이곳에선 안전할 수 없어요. 저 개체도 마찬가지겠죠.
Do you think the sinners ever refuse, like in canon? Do you think sinners ever refuse to put on an ID? Like, I could see Ishmael refusing to put on the captain ID sometimes. Or all the time, really. I know they have a thing, they're not influenced by it, etc, etc. But it feels so, like, against their nature with some of them. Like Sinclair's NCorp ID and stuff like that. It feels so against who they are.
잠시 어지러워서 못 봤어요.
But I'd like to think sometimes they're like, yeah, no. I'm glad you got that, sure, fuck off. What about Dante? No. Like, but then also, on the other side of it, what IDs do you think they favor? Because I can see Heathcliff actually kind of liking the Ricardo ID. Feral. Because he's like, ah, I remember that bastard, gimme. He was so strong, I want to be that strong. Gimme. And I can see him kind of enjoying it. I was just thinking, with all these like nurse fathers and stuff, obviously I don't have full context of who these characters are, but the context I am getting for Ryoshu's Kanto is that Ryoshu has a polytool of parents from the fingers. And it must be really weird for Ryoshu being like...
고생 많았어. 티페리트, 너도.
I imagine Sinner refused to wear an ID because it's outdated, not meta anymore. Only the finest meta ID is Dante.
고향의 노래를 부르고 있겠지.
Just like Ryoshu looks around and is like, I need to before you guys put on any of those IDs, I need to ID up first so I don't have the trauma of you guys looking like my fucking parents. Please don't tell me anything about what Night of the Spare Rodian? Actually no, yeah, you can tell me about Night of the Spare Rodian, that's fine. I do have it and I do plan to like apply it at some point, so yeah, we're all good. You have my permission. Insufficient Encafelin! That's an Enka felon. Felony. No problemo. Faust, please. Butler Faust ID is good and meta. Don't say it's cringe. Exactly. Like, I feel like that'd be ones they prefer.
징수하겠네.
그래.
Why are you putting me on slicing, Claire? All he gets is a stick and a coat. Get me season 7 with 7 unique, with 3 unique statuses. Faust, please, I like the sheet
이
association.
자리에 서 있게 해달라고 바란 적은 없었어.
Butler Faust is only good for tea. Butler Faust is good because she looks fucking dope. That's what she's good for.
뭐라고?
Ishmael Dante. I know why you want me to wear the Kurokuma ID. Shh. Meanwhile, Heathcliff fully embracing it and be like, yes, I know why you want me to wear the Kurokuma ID. I have a girlfriend. She doesn't exist anymore, but I have a girlfriend. And maybe if I wear the Kurokuma ID, I can seduce her back into existence. And then he's like, what if I just don't wear a shirt as Ricardo? Ricardo was a slutty ID and I love it. Look at him, he's such a slut! I love him!
잘 들어갔네요.
Ishmael, lobotomy, ego swashing will definitely be necessary in this fight. And she's like, for fuck's sake, I've melted so many fucking goddamn times. I've melted twice. It's weird it's happened, which isn't many times, but it's weird it's happened twice. Poor Ishmael.
뭐 그대로만
Melty,
해주시면
melty Ishmael.
오늘은 제압이 빠르게
She is but a puddle.
경멸스.
Mersault. I love Kappa Mersault.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없어.
Only if KK is kimono. What do you mean that the girls fell out at some point? Unless, I mean, they're very special outfits, aren't they, made by the tailors? So I assume the tailors are very good at keeping the girls in check. However,
그렇게 서 있으니 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
if you're fighting in a kimono like that, the girls are gonna fall out at some point. It's just gonna happen. Don Quixote, it's imperative that you put on middle little sister ID. Yes, I know, we aren't running. That is cute. Don Quixote, the same thing, but Queen of Hatred. But I have a, I don't know. Why do I feel like Don Quixote would be thrilled to be a magical girl and be like, can I use Queen of Hatred again today, Dante? Manager Esquire. Chef Gregor is the worst ID. However, do you think they use IDs for mundane tasks? Like, if House wants to serve tea or wants to serve a really good cup of tea, she's like, excuse me a minute, puts on her butler ID, makes the tea, takes it off. Or is it Dante's the one who triggers the IDs, isn't he, technically? Manager Esquire, I am feeling girly pop today! Don't go to Miguel de Cervantes intended. Yes, I mean, is a knight not the medieval, the ye old version and western version of wanting to be a magical girl? It's the same thing, right? Faust to serve good tea, she can use her 7 ID. Yeah, Dante assigns IDs from his little tablet. He does. So, do you think he, like, he needs a really good meal, so he'll, like, assign an ID that's really good to, at cooking and then ask them to cook. and then unassign it, and then like,
어차피
if it's
구하지
Chef
못해.
Gregor, he just like pops. Gregor just pops out and looks down and went, "Did I make that?"
전력으로 상대하마.
What that mean? Did I do that? But I guess that's why they can't argue with what IDs they use, even though I feel like they feel horrible and
이제야
dirty
회사가
after using
정상으로
some of them.
돌아갔네.
Magical girls are
이번
knights with
지압은
God's
끝이야.
power. Exactly! They have the power of God and anime on their side.
히트리트, 너도.
Get your shaft loves, but
언젠가 우리도
Butler Faust for
모든 게
good tea.
끝날 때가 오면
Yeah.
좋겠네.
그때가 되면 휴식을 기다리며
Sinclair Dante,
고향의
please,
노래를 부르고
please stop using
있겠지.
the Encore ID on Miss Faust. She keeps looking at me weird when she's using it. Yeah. Maybe not Chef Gregor then. I forgot that it was District 23 food. Something caught my attention from the corner of my eye after another round of brutal combat.
이건 또 뭐야?
Hey, it's the teacup box that we got a look at in Ruiner. What's this now? We're on the final car adjacent to the freight car when we discovered an odd-looking box with the Teacorp logo on it.
T사의 로고인 것 같다만.
It's the emblem of Teacorp. I hope they make all the egos of magical girls so that Nilly can go for power. Yes! So who would be who? We've had despair and hatred, so who's greed and wrath? I mean, you say wrath, the first thing you think is Heathcliff, really, but Heathcliff could also be greed. We already had, like, Roger not being greed. Who would be greed? Greed is a hard one. Gregor? You think Gregor would be our pretty golden lady? Sorry, I just remembered Greed Roland. It was so pretty. Wrath Sinclair. Ooh. Greed Mercel. Oh, you weren't answering. No, okay, sorry. Wrath Sinclair. He would look really cute in Wrath's outfit, actually. The little green guy. Ooh, that's true. Gregor's arm could turn into the Greed Gauntlet. That's true. It appears that the wall covering it was broken. The fierceness of our battle.
그 대표라는 사람
Didn't the chief executive guy Herbert?
다른 날개와
Right.
많은 연계를 하고 있다는 이야기를 했던
Didn't
것
he
같아.
offhandedly mention something about partnering with other wings?
역시 W4하고도
Guess they're in cahoots with W Corp too.
T사뿐이 아니라
Such collaborations are not limited to T
이리저리
Corp.
협력을
It is
주고받는
often the
사이인
case that
경우가
a wing may
많소.
work with another.
오히려
It is
아직
only
그리
on rare
이름을 알리지
occasions that
못한
they urgently
우리
request the assistance
림버스
of a less
컴퍼니에게
significant, lesser known
이리
corporation
급하게
such
협력을
as our
요청하는
Limbus
것이
Company.
이례적인
Their choice appears to
일이라고만.
be quite irregular. King of Greed wanted to care for others and forgot to care themselves. We've got a sinner for that. Wrath Sinclair makes sense because that Abno story was about how she was betrayed by a friend. We need Boy in the Magical Girl teams for fun and games. And Canon Roland's cosplays. Yes! Care for others so much, forgot to care about himself. It is only on rare occasions that they urgently request the assistance of less... I just read that.
뭐 W4도
Sounds
이제
like
떨어질
W
만큼
Corp's
떨어졌다는
heydays are
거겠지.
long behind them.
부서져서 속이 드러나기 시작한 이
Just like
벽처럼.
this wall is falling apart, revealing what's behind.
아, 부서졌다고
Oh,
하니까 생각난
speaking of falling
건데
apart, this
이
room
객실
sure got
자체도
messed up, huh?
엉망진창이긴
Yeah, look
하다,
at this
그치?
shit. It was difficult for me to ignore how Roger hurriedly swerved into a different subject, as though she'd made a mistake. Even the tone of her voice shifted, like she was catching herself.
핏덩이가 붙은 의체 부품 및
The various
조각이
destroyed
사방에
prosthetic
널려 있는
parts
것을 보아
covered in
다수의
human
의체
remains
해결사가
indicate that this
탑승했던
train
객실
car
칸으로
was
보인다.
boarded by several prosthetic equipped fixes. I can't think about that right now. Let's first deal with the task at hand. Greed, go with Greed Altis. So we have quite a lot of people who could be Greed, really. I like Wrath is settled on our angry little boy Sinclair, who is an angry little boy, really. Hi, Orphan! Limbus Company, indeed.
아까 T사의 원정을 왔다던 해결사
Maybe these
사무소가
people are from
이
the same office as
사람들이었을지도
that guy
모르겠어요.
we've met at the platform. Remember, he said he'd warped over to T-Corp on an expedition.
같은 모델의 의체가 많이
It's almost like
보이네요.
they're wearing standardized sets of prosthetics. Same make, same model, everything. I believe I have read articles stating that certain offices do exclusively hire fixers with prosthetics. Nili is definitely Yisang, but potentially Honglu as well. They're both pretty good potentials for Nili. Nothing there would be a cool Sinclair. That would be cool. But there's nothing there.
혹시 이분은
Wait, we're walking through the bloodied car when suddenly Sinclair's voice. Words, come on. We can word. When suddenly we heard Sinclair's voice crack as though he saw something awful. Outis nearly, but what about Greed Outis? I kind of want Greed Outis because I think Greed Outis would look fucking sick.
이자는 분명 승강장에서
Here's the one we encountered on the platform.
우리에게 시비를 걸던자군.
This is the fixer who suddenly started venting at us.
원정을
Yeah,
왔다
he's
실패했다고 했었나?
going to T-Corp on an expedition and failing.
이만한
I've
숫자의
got a whole
해결사들이었으니
train car full of fixers
진짜
for this
원정이라고
contract.
말할 만도 하네.
Guess I wasn't exaggerating when I said he called it an expedition.
부서진 팔만
Tips,
하나씩 건네면 예비팔을 교체해가면서
Don't
썼던
even
것이지
have ego for the
않겠는가?
weak alpha. Sadly, nothing there is one of those that's super far out of reach. Boo. Makes sense that that would explain all those broken prosthetic arms and legs in this
그것은
car.
아마
Executive
다른
Manager,
피조물에게
this is
저항하던 중에
likely an
발생한 흔적일
aftermath of a
것입니다.
battle between
관리자.
fixers and bloodbags.
전쟁 때도 비슷한 사례가
There were
많았습니다.
many similar cases during the war.
의체는 언제든 교체가
Those
가능한
using prosthetics
자금이
would simply
허락하는
let their
특별히
bodies be
아끼거나
destroyed in
보호해가며
battle
싸우지 않아도 된다는
because they
마음가짐.
consider them to be disposable as long as their wallets would permit.
물론 그런 녀석들은
Of course, the
자기 몸을
blatant lack
제대로
of
보호하지
self-preservation
않아 일찍
often sent
전사하곤
them
했습니다.
into early graves. Oh, maybe so.
하나의 상황이 생각보다 다양하게
I
해석될 수
see.
있군요.
There are
두
multiple
의견을
possible
모두
interpretations
기억해두겠습니다.
depending on one's perspective. Despite the fact that there is but a single scene, I will remember both of your inputs.
좋은 자세.
That's a good attitude.
당신 같은 사원들은
Employees with
꼭 끝까지
attitudes like
살아남곤
yours
했지.
often make it to the end of the war.
네,
Very well. Good for
다행이었겠군요.
them. Faust answered Autist in an uncharacteristically snappy manner. Signs of fatigue were creeping into her pensive expression. You alright, Faust? It was rare to see any actual expression from her. I'm starting to get worried.
신체적으로는 문제가
I am
없습니다만
physically unharmed, but
네,
yes, I am alright.
고립된 바다 위에서
However, I do not
마구잡이로
enjoy
그물을
the
던지는 것
circumstance
같은
of which we
이
found
상황이
ourselves in. It is as
유쾌하진 않군요.
though I am casting nets to nowhere, lost and isolated in a blind sea.
평소에는
Normally,
연락한 정보에
deductions such as
간단한
these
추론만
would have
곁들여서
been complete within
명료한
moments
결론을
after
내릴 수
establishing a few
있었으니까요.
basic cross-references with the information I accessed. Her voice was such a whisper for the second part of her sentence that even I could barely hear what she was saying.
아, 그건 알 것도 같네요.
I know what you mean.
새까맣고 고요한
Feeling
호수
like they're
위에서
completely lost,
어떻게 생명을
obsessively
구하겠다고
casting net
그물을
after
던져도
net over the black
막막하거든요.
rippleless lake in desperate hopes that one of them might pull something we could eat.
대체 여기가 어디쯤인지
No
이곳에서
way to
무언가
tell where we
잡히기는 하는
were.
건지
No way to tell
갈피
if
자체를 못
there's
잡으니까요.
even anything to eat under that glassy water's surface. Grasping at straws, you know? We do have all of Yesod's admirals, that's true.
나 또한 보이지 않는 묘혈의
The
노은
sense I
기분인
found
것은
myself mired
미안하지요.
is not unlike your own.
눈에
It is like
맺힌
lying on my
삶과
back over
코끝의
an
혈연만으로는
unseen grave,
나아갈 길을
for the
알 수
reflection
없으니
of radiance upon my eyes, and the sanguine scent hanging from the tip of my olfactory senses tells me naught of the forging path. It seemed that Ishmael Nisang picked up on the first part of her sentence. However, as they walked up to her and shared a few words of consolation,
파우스트 씨가
By
그런
the way,
말을
I
하는 건 처음 보는 것 같은데요.
don't ever recall you talking like that, Faust.
아니, 정확히는 파우스트 씨가 오늘따라 평소랑 달라 보인다고
I don't know
했지.
what it is, but I feel like there's something different about you today. I don't know if you already know this, but after you finish this Intervallo, you can do its hard mode, which gives you more reward. It only starts at the Miracle in District 20 Intervallo though. Ah, good to know.
그건
That is...
아, 나쁘다는
Oh,
건
I mean,
아니에요.
I don't hate it. I'm
오히려
actually glad to
조금
learn
묘해
that you had a
보여서
softer
좋네요.
side.
그대에게서 본 적이 없던
This is an
모습이기에
unseen side of yours.
더욱 신선하오.
This unseen side of yours, it is unfamiliar yet quite fresh.
그런가요?
Is that so? Faust's reply was curt. She closed her eyes.
승강장에 있던 팜플렛에
As per the
의하면
information
이
provided by the
열차는
pamphlet
객실용
at the platform,
12칸과
it is
화물용
likely that this
1칸으로
train is
구성되어 있다고
composed of
한다.
12 passenger cars and 1 freight car.
현재 도달한 곳은
Because we are
11번째
on the
칸이고
11th car at the
메피스토
moment,
팰리스가 있을
that leaves a single
13번째
car
칸을
between
제외하면
us and the
단
freight
한
car,
칸이 남는다.
which means Mephistopheles is secured. Which means
높은 확률로
that there is a high
피조물들을
likelihood
만든
that we will
마주할
soon
것이다.
encounter the Blood Fiend responsible for the creation of the blood bags aboard this train. Just beyond that door, Faust getting praise for being herself. She's getting validated! I also think it's very cute that two people have been through their cantos, and both of them having a bit of issues with nihility, shall we say. Yisang flirting, we need to leave the warp train quick. Yisang's not flirting, Yisang's just being the nice little guy that he is. He's such a nice little guy. Our favourite little wet cat.
그래봐야 이것들 대빵이라는 거 아니야.
Well, how
얼마나
impressive.
다르겠어?
Could the leader be some sort of leader this sort of cannon fodder
역으로
be?
말해 그 많은
A
피조물들을
different, more
건드릴 수
accurate
있는 존재이기에
interpretation would be
위험
to
수준을
say
높게
that being
생각하는 것이
capable of
타당하다.
commanding a large force as the blood bags we have defeated should be considered a high-risk
잘 알려진
entity.
정보는 아니지만
Although this is not
혈귀
common
상대를
knowledge, there is a
전문적으로 하는
subcategory of
해결사도 있다고
fixers
합니다.
called blood fiend hunters
혈귀
who
사냥꾼이라
specialize in,
불리는데
yes, hunting blood fiends.
정보가 사실이라면
Assuming that information is
전문가가 따로
true,
있을 만큼
it can be
까다로운
inferred that blood
존재이겠죠.
fiends are difficult foes that require a certain expertise to defeat.
생각해보면
Now that
피주머니라는
I'm thinking
것들은
about it, if blood
맹목적으로
bags are
혈기를
like
따르는
mindless
일종의
thralls to blood
군세라는
fiends,
거잖아요.
then they're kind of like an army, right?
사기 저하나 탈출을
A
걱정하지
being
않아도
of
되는
power
군대를
that
만들
can
수 있는
create a
자.
force of their
전쟁이든
own without
일상이든
concern for
그런 자는
lowered
언제나
morale or
보통 이상의
desertion,
능력을 갖고 있지.
wartime or not, will always make him strong foes. The sinners each exchange various opinions with one another, possible strategies, estimations of the blood fiend's strength, and all of a sudden, of this indecisive idleness! Our quest is to defeat the villain who hath brought such pain and misery upon this train. Is it not? It may be vaporizing the lifeblood of the innocent as we speak. Mighty or feeble, I care not. I swear upon mine honor that I shall smite this foe and let my hand of justice be judged for their fate. Let us hasten now! Don Quixote's sudden outburst immediately put a stop to the chatter. She's not wrong. Besides, dealing with the blood fiend is the key to completing our contract. Let the two smartest people kiss each other. You can kiss each other, sure. You may ship. You may ship. I see the ship. I see it sailing, and I have no problems with this ship. But I'm not sure I ship it myself. Haven't decided yet if I'm on that ship or not. Only if they kiss each other in in intense mind chess battle. The kiss has to be in the mind battle. On the outside, they're still just staring at each other. That's so funny.
오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다. 의의를 바로 세우는 데 일조하였으니 내일은 더 떳떳이 살아갈 수 있겠군요.
The one who lords. Oh lordy. Let's go. Yeah.
집행해주지.
Okay, I'm gonna make a promise to myself that I will do a mirror dungeon this week. I will. By the time I next stream, I will have done some grinding. If not more. This room.
다들
What a fabulous person.
왜
Wonderful.
그런 표정이지?
What is with that look on thy faces?
왕자에게 인사를
Thou
올리러 왔으면
standest in the
최선을
audience
다해서
of the prince.
웃어야지.
Where is thy smile?
저자가 이 모든
You
일의
must be the blood
원흉이자
fiend that caused this outbreak.
저희가 처리해야 할
He
할배인
is our
듯하군요.
target. The Prince of La Mancha?
무릎을 꿇고
Fall
머리를
to thy
조여.
knees and grovel before royalty. Speaks like someone we know.
그쪽이
Who the hell are you
누구길래
to
우리가
make
그래야 하는데?
demands? Shall I impart upon...
한 번만
I shall
말해줄
impart
테니
this upon thee, so listen
똑똑히
well.
들어라. 내 이름은
Thou
가세티.
mayest address me as Prince
가족으로부터
Casseti,
도망친
sixth
제
kindred in
육권
refuge from his
너희
family,
위에 군림할
and the
진정한
rightful prince
왕자이다.
who shall reign over thee.
이 열차에서 일어난 모든 사륙.
Thou art the villain who hast brought such destruction and massacre upon this vessel,
왕자의 앞에서
Thou
무례하게도
art a
질문이
chatty.
많군.
so broodly before your prince.
하지만
This welcome
모처럼 배가 부른 상태니
citation
넘어가
has put
주지.
me in quite the generous mood.
자,
As thou
보다시피
must have been,
이
as
열차는
thou must have seen on
근사한
thy journey
식사를
here,
위한
this
연회장.
place is a hall of banquet for a feast most majestic.
피주머니를 마음껏 만들고 먹어도
Mersault has this ID.
인간들은
Wonderful.
끊임없이 찾아오지.
No matter how many blood bags I
그럼 나는
create, no matter how
그때마다
many of them I
만찬을
devour,
즐길 뿐이다.
humans just won't stop coming. I am only enjoying what casts themselves into my maw.
얼굴에 여흥용 가면을
He
쓰고
dons a
있어.
mask for the purpose of merrymaking.
인사할 생각이라면 얼굴 정도는 제대로 보여주는
If we're
것이
really going to
기본적인
exchange
예의 아닌가?
pleasantries, then why don't you take the mask off? Or are you unfamiliar with basic etiquette?
이 가면
This mask
떼어지지 않아. 뗄 수 없어.
won't come
떼서는
off.
안 돼.
Can't take it off.
그래서
Shouldn't take it off.
왕자가 될 수
There's no
없어.
prince without the mask. Interesting. We're so ugly behind the mask. So we all decide to hide how repulsive we've become.
했지.
But once I've drunk
하지만
blood full, then I'll go
너희들의
back
피를
to how
전부
it used
마시고
to be.
나면 다시 원래대로
Only
돌아올
then
거야.
can I unmask myself.
내놈 안면에 바느질을
Sit that
한참
mask on your
누구지?
face.
솜씨가 제법이.
Not a half bad job. Merciful power scaled him into being a better version. Wonderful. Of course, it's excellent! Because his mask was crafted by none other than the
이름을 입에
great
담기 황송한
and the eminent barber whose name I dare not speak. Gregor! I dare not speak, but it hurts so
하지만
much.
아니야.
No,
웃고 있어요.
I'm smiling. Look!
열심히 웃고
Look how
있잖아요.
hard I'm smiling and laughing. Yes, I am the prince. That's what I am.
왕자란
정신이
Oh, lordy.
헛가닥해버린 놈이군.
He's a bloody loon, isn't he?
다 웃었냐? 그러면
All right, I'm done with the giggles then.
이제 몇
Get ready for
대만
the
좀
beating of your
맞아라.
life. Enjoy things like you and your friends.
난 너 울고
Don't
짜고
cry.
바닥에
Falling and
엎드려서
bawling and sniffling on the ground for your lives.
달려
Plunge at me instead, hmm?
피가 끓어오르는
The boiling blood. Oh, how I love the heat.
주위나 둘러봐.
What are you,
너
daft?
혼자야.
Look around, there's
불을 다 낼 수
13 of
있을
us,
것
and one
같냐?
are you?
히스클리프 씨,
Don't let your guard down,
방심하지 마세요.
Heathcliff. This entity has managed to turn
이 열차의
countless
수많은
passengers of
승객을
his train into
피주머니로 만들어 온
bloodbags.
자입니다.
I
방심은
ain't
안
let me
하겠지만
guard down, but
그래도
we blasted through
뒷칸에서부터
so many
피주머니들은
bloodbags, we
우리는 족족
couldn't
우리가
even keep count, didn't
썰어버렸잖아.
we? He's a bit of a cuckoo. A loon.
숫자. 그래.
Couldn't even
숫자가
keep count.
중요하지.
Oh no no.
몇 명이
But count's so
방문했는지가 중요한
important.
것.
I have to keep count of
기억하고
our
있어요.
visitors. Yes, yes, of course. I do remember to keep count of our dearest visitors. Yes, sir, I do.
난 말이야. 아주 강해.
You have no idea how powerful I am.
이
I
새로운
shall not
왕국에서
relinquish
물러날
the
마음은
throne of this budding
조금도
kingdom to
없어.
thee. All I have
이
to do is sit
왕좌에
here and do
가만히
nothing,
앉아
and the
있으면
bloodbags present themselves
피주머니들이
before me.
알아서
There's
대령되지.
no paradise like this out there.
이런 나골이
You have no idea
또
what
있을
I
것
did to
같아.
create this place. Oh, how elated my forebears would be were they to witness my creation. This cornucopia of abundance, this pleasure, oh, this freedom.
하지만 이건 제가
But
만든
this kingdom is
왕국이에요.
mine. I made it. I'm not giving it away. Nope.
조금 의아하긴
This is
하군요.
rather curious.
추측하건대
It
저
appears that
헬기는
this blood
이
fiend
칸에서
leaves
거의 벗어나지
his
않는 것
car only
같습니다만
on rare occasions.
그 영향은
Yet we have seen
열차의 모든 칸에
signs
미치고
of
있을
his
정도로
insidious
강력할
influence
뿐더러
throughout every car we have visited so far.
가만히 앉아 있어도 피주머니가 대령된다는 건
Then what he meant by how the blood bags present themselves before him has to be.
잠깐!
Hold on a minute! Someone suddenly and frantically charged into this car. It was Sasha. To fix him one of the earlier cars. Cassetti shrinks into his throne at the sudden intrusion, terror apparent on his face.
자네는 설마 우리를 도와주러 이곳까지 와준 겐가?
You mean the red-eyed fixer? Ah, it is thee! By the... Hast thou truly journeyed here to assist us on our quest?
저길
Lo, that villain is the blood fiend responsible for the tragedies that have transpired aboard this train.
저자만 처치한다면
Help us slay that cur and eventually lead the passengers thou hast protected thus far out of the train.
혈기.
Blood fiends.
만약 피주머니가 아닌 채로
What if there was
이성을
more than a
유지할 수
single
있는
blood fiend on board?
혈기가 더 있다면
One still capable of rational thought.
아, 정말 여기까지
Ah,
왔나?
you actually made it all the way back here.
해결사는 좀
I guess
다르구나.
wings don't give out contracts to just anyone. Yeah, well, she pointed out her own red eyes at the start. So we knew all along.
너도 옛날에
I used to fight my damnedest too.
마지막까지
Well, I was the last one standing.
무슨 소리를 하는 거야?
What is she talking about?
그랬더니 이 네 팔 중에 세 개가
But where did that
뽑혀
leave me? Alone? 3 of my forearms ripped from my body.
근데 이상하지?
Kind of funny how the
하나밖에
perspective
안
on
남으니까
life can just
그때서야 이런 생각이
completely
들었어.
flip when you're really, really in the shit. I think my last thoughts were, man, I don't want to
지우기
die.
싫다. 그래서 빌었어.
So I fell on my knees and pleaded and told him.
피하세요, 돈키호테.
Don Quixote, watch out!
무엇이든 다 할 수
I'd
있다.
do anything to live! Blood rapidly crystallized around Sasha like a suit of armor as she swung her greatsword at the sinners, striking them before Faust hurried shout had fully died away. What?
내가 말했잖아.
What did you say? I command you to give me a warning before jumping in like that.
그 망할 발들이 너무 시끄러운 거 몰라.
I don't know how loud your stupid arms are. I thought the family had come for me.
죄송합니다, 카세트님.
Yeah, you can tell which one she lost. I'm sorry, Lord Cassetti. Allow me to introduce my kindred to thee. First of mine since the escape. For the kingdom
내가 밖으로 나와
For
처음으로
the
만든
kingdom I intend to
건설.
build. Faust did raise her voice for the first time.
나의 왕국을
My kindred, my loyal squire,
함께
who shall
건설하고
be at my side as I build a dynasty of my own, my family.
말씀하신 대로
Lord
강한
Kaseki,
놈들을
I'd
선별해서
intended
이곳으로
to
보내려고
select the more
했습니다.
powerful of the bunch,
저희 칸의
to
인간들은
send
전부
to this
형편
car
없는 놈들뿐이었기에
as you have commanded me.
1등석에서 온
But the
저자들을
humans in my car
카세티님에게로
were all
보내주었습니다.
weaklings. So I present before you this group from the first class car.
권소.
Kindred.
당신은
Are you even
권속이란 게
aware of the
무엇인지
exact nature
정확히
of
알고
kindred?
계신가요?
아니, 하지만
Nah,
이것만큼은
but I
얘기할
can
수
tell you
있어.
this.
그분의 피가 내 몸에
When I accepted my
들어온
lord's blood into my veins,
다시 태어난
I felt as though I was
기분이었지.
born.
권속은 뒤틀림이나 환상체가 만들어내는
A blood fiend's
하위
kindred is
개체의
like a
개념과
sub-entity
유사하군요.
of the blood fiend. Similar in concept to sub-entities created by distortions or abnormalities. Hello, Doppel! I found myself quite marveled by your fortitude in conducting live streams for 3 consecutive days. I mean, it's only 2 hours in the evening. I used to do 5 days a week when I had the time.
정확한 정보도 없이
It
무작정
must have
받아들였던
been
것은
desperation that pushed you
그만큼
to accept that
절박했기
proposal,
때문이었죠.
despite lack of information.
아마 건속이 되기 전에
Maybe
나는
that's what I was going through my head before I became kindred.
자네가
Thou hast been in cahoots with this villain all this time? As his lackey?
처음 보았을 때부터
Even when we first laid our eyes upon thee.
붉은 눈에 대해 물어볼 땐 얼마나
Lady, you have no idea how
놀랐던지.
much I freaked out when you asked me something about
내
red
눈은
eyes.
붉은 빛을 내는
Not that it
의연일
would have
뿐이라.
mattered if you did suspect me
의미는
though,
없었겠지만.
since mine are just prosthetic.
그러면
The,
자네가
then the
보호하고
passengers
있던
who are
그
under thy protection.
내가 말했지.
Haven't I told you that the Count
숫자가
matters?
중요하다. 백렬은
The longer the procession,
길수록
the better.
좋다.
Dozens of blood bags began shambling into the room from behind Sasha. A smaller one among them stood out to me. Oh no, that's the little girl, isn't it? The little girl who talked to Don Quixote. My mind immediately snapped to the child who grabbed Don Quixote's coattails. Oh no. I knew that the passengers were dead the moment we realized Sasha was a blood fiend, but I hoped we'd be spared this sight. You mean the big flower chair?
어린 아이도
There was
있었다네.
a child.
알아. 언젠가
Yeah.
커서
Little
해결사가
Rum
되고
wanted to be a
싶어
fixer when she grew up.
그런데 해결사가 될
Don't
바엔
think she would though.
기준으로 사는 게 나아.
Tell you on good authority
해결사로
that
살아온 내가
living
보증할
as a
수
blood
있어.
bag is way better than the drudgery that is life for a fixer. Believe me, I know.
그이 닥치시게.
Hold thy vile tongue!
정의롭고 이름 높은 해결사
Dream
같은
of becoming a
꿈을 꾸면 결국
famous,
실망하거든.
respected fixer
악몽 일찍
and enactor of justice? It's all just a stupid pipe dream that always ends in crushing disappointment or a really, really early grave.
그이 닥치라고 하지
Silence! Silence! Don Quixote did not give Sasha time to finish her sentence. She was already charging full speed at her with her lance drawn. Oh, lordy. Please tell me I don't have to fight the child. They're already injured. Is it because they're weak? Maybe.
불가 위야 막아내지 못하리.
목을 떨궈주마.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. What is in the back? The red warp symbol? This is pretty cool. Yeah, there is a guy who's a pillar, that's true. A pillar of the community.
거창을 새겨주지.
Here's back. This like rib cage coming out of here looks like hands. That's terrifying.
불과 이야 마감하지 못하리.
But I don't want to fight children. I would rather fight the cyber-enhanced vampire.
일어나. 아직
It has a face on it. On the pillar? Oh, fuck! I've just found it. It took me ages, but let me point it out for everyone else so you guys can also be traumatized by the face in the pillar. I feel like you need to see this at first. Hello, look at him! Buy our prosthetic fix. That's so awful. He looks so happy to be there though. He's just happy to be here. That's awful. Thank you for pointing it out. That's awful. Thank you for the trauma. Why did Cassetti do that to him? Like I said, because he's a pillar of the community.
저 해충들을 도려내라. 묘야.
Unless, or maybe his blood tasted really good, so it's kind of like storing him for later kind of thing. Didn't want him running around, so just like froze him in a singular state. Load-bearing mass. Reminder, that pillar is alive. Yeah. Oh, hello. Hello, Sasha. You look really good.
들었지? 두 번은 필요 없다고 생각해. 아직 끝난 것도 아니니까.
I want logs. I want wool. Fight-o! Very interested. Oh, donkey, okay, forgotten the donkey gave the blood feed.
제압 개체에게 맞는 정상적인 공격이야.
Ooh, I should look at the logs of the blood bags. That's true, I'll do that.
당연한 걸 한 것 가지고 굳이 칭찬할 필요 없어.
Assuming I don't somehow win already. I shouldn't. But Sasha might be the only one standing up there. No. Ooh, right.
한 상처라도
Reading!
갑자기
Commissions
제압
unmet.
개체가 더
Boo!
강해졌잖아. 당장 우리한텐 그런 정보가 없어.
Boo! I can't read the logs. No logs for us. Oh, was there not originally voiced? Yay! Going back and being able to show you the voiced version.
죄송해요. 잠시 어지러워서 못 봤어요. 뭐 또 대단한 일이라도 하신 거겠죠?
진짜.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
이제
I may have forgotten
일어나!
something.
아직 11번을 죽어야 한다고.
아까 어떤 직원이
그래.
제압 개체에 한 번에
내가 왔다.
잠깐. 진짜?
Press
왜
a
부서
button,
팀장을 안
it's the
달아줬지?
win, be-da, be-da. Press a button, it's the win, be-da.
그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
I know, I'm so mad that I don't have logs. The bongi logs were so good though. I do, I want bestiary. I want to be able to view all the logs ever. Give me more shit to read, please.
찜절머리가 나는 건
Unbelievable! I make myself my first ever kindred without authorization of that. And
이런
it's this bumbling fool. I pray your forgiveness, Father. Begone from my sight. At least thou hast wrought me blood bags for sustenance. Yet it must be the responsibility of the parent to cover the mess of his child. What a load of shit. Says Ryoshu with her thousands of parents. With at least 5 parents. The polycule of fingers. With that, Cassetti reached out towards the pile of blood bags on the ground and... Om nom 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 nom. Ooh. Wait, I've seen that ID! He looks so much cooler now! Oh, abundance! What an unfamiliar sensation you become! An armor of hardened blood materialized over the Bulletin's body. His sheer aggression and hatred was palatable enough to make skin crawl. By the way, this year's April Fools we got that turned into children's tropes. Last year we got body swap trope. What'll be next year? Wasn't it we've had body swap trope more than once because we had different body swaps? Turn into animals? Would it be a good one? We could have a little animal AU. Everyone would look cute as a cute woodland creature. Just have a little woodland creature thing going on. It appears that he has empowered himself by reaping their blood. Though my power is yet to fully return, this magnificent armor is quite befitting of the risen king's parade. Dost thou agree? Yes, sir, yes you do, of course you do. Challenge me now, O rebels, challenge thy king. I absolutely want some ideas. Is it fun to have fun? Yes. Yes. And you know what's even more fun? Pressing the win rate button and not reading anything. Yeah, I know, I should read. I will after this, I promise. I promise I'll read and do things. When it's one of the sinners' birthday, we do get chibi autos, with some of them being animals. Yeah, so we could do like a little animal one. We could have an actual bunny Faust. That would be lovely. Or maybe we have like Limbus Zoo, and they're all sorts of strange animals. We did have Virgilus in a dinosaur once. What if they got turned into dinosaurs? Right-o, fellow, what are you doing? What's you doing? Grovel before me, pathetic one, blah 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 blah. I am the prince of the parade! Basically, he's gonna get blood, and he's gonna get strong from blood, I assume. Yes, yes. Hints? Oh no. Passives! Stored blood. I like this. Tells you what to pay attention to. Oh, that's lovely. That's very helpful. Thank you, game. End turn, depending on the stored blood stat on self. At 5 or lower, gain blind, fragile, and offensive level, so that's what he's got at the moment. At 5 or more, gain 2 offensive, 2 defense for every next turn, and it stacks. God damn, that's awful. Prioritize target with the highest sort of bleed potency and count on hits if target has used of HP. Honestly, in the prologue, it's already like exactly. When this unit has bleed, gain offensive level up, and defensive level up for every 5 stacks. A max of 10. Gain 1 clash power for every 10 bleed. Damage taken from bleed is... That's a lot. So avoid bleed is what I'm hearing. tempted to just hit him really, really hard now. Hit him hard while he's bloodthirsty. While he's down with that. If I like ego him now, what if? What if magical girl? When in doubt, blaze a beam. If we just do a shit ton of damage to him, right? Then it'll be fine. Wasn't fine. I didn't even get to magical girl. That's fucking rude. That wasn't good. Now he's really, really stuck. That was a lot of heals. He always gets max heal when using that. That's just... too rude. That's just rude. Struggling? Not struggling. Go!
그래.
Keep this blazer beam. Why the fuck was... I should have turned it back. I have a feeling we're gonna need to do this fight again next stream. I sense it. It's fine. I'll know what I'll do. It's fine.
정의보다도 큰 자여, 사랑보다 붉은 자여, 운명 속에 파묻힌 그대의 이름을 걸고 여기서 빛의 맹세하여 우리 앞을 막는 증오스러운 존재들에게 나와 그대의 힘을 합쳐 위대한 사랑의 힘을 보여줄 것을! 아르카나 슬레이더!
He's got big defenses, so we're probably not doing too much, but you know it's better than nothing! I mean, that's a pretty respectable amount of damage. It's pretty good, actually.
내가 너를 위해 기도할 것이니
It's after the battle.
반드시 부서진다.
After the magical girl battle. It's in ruins, isn't it? Oh, I got the magical girl
이
symbol.
자리에
What does
서
that do?
있게
I
해달라고
can't
바란
remember.
적은 없었어요. 단 한 번.
Vendetta mark. I got the vendetta. Wow, so many fucking shit on there. So we got the vendetta mark on it. We got the sibling vengeance mark. We got the mark of villainy. Takes 10% damage from Don Quixote. Well, I need to hit more with Don Quixote. Wonderful. Well, definitely have someone evil to fight at the moment. Struggling? You can't be struggling again, my friend. What one are you going against? This? Dominic, you're on a pose. You're not fast enough. Go.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없.
You are bad. And Don Quixote's in a pose, that's good, because Don Quixote's doing more damage at the moment, so... We may as well let her just go ham in the corner, while everyone's doing their best to deal with the battle. Oh no, stop healing, you bastards! Yeah, I'm not getting through this fight.
총알값 아까울 놈은
Oh, Mersault's getting angry. Okay, no one's struggling. That's nice. So we're mostly dominating. Go. I like that. 10 out of 10. Hat removed. Exactly. He's serious. Aura has some fun. Time to kick the shit out of this blood fiend. I'm such a weird. I need to make some responses to use. He doesn't have his boombox yet. I will get. Like that. That's another reason I need to grind.
공격이 오겠지만
It's another motivation
내버려두세요.
that I need to get
당신이
before
제일
his
잘하는
boombox.
일이잖아요.
And I need to focus hard on getting like another team. So like obviously like my hater team is pretty good and it's nice to have that. But I like having another team. And then every time it's like, oh, what if I make this team? And what if I make this team?
전력으로
Kick his ass! Look at him go. Look at my man go. I love him so much. Look at that 200 damage. Mersault! I love you. He's so strong. Strongest boy in all of Strong Clan. Okay, we might actually do this then. Might mean I'm late to bed. Because the cutscene, huh? But it'll be fine.
평소보다 의욕적이야.
Booties! Sleep anyway. I'll just have a nap when I get home from work. We'll be fine.
쓸데없이 흥분한 걸 수도 있지. 뭐 나쁜 건 아니기도 하고.
Middle should have separate sibling rankings for boombox. Little boombox carrier. I did it! I
이제야 회사가
did it!
정상으로 돌아갔네. 이번 제압은 끝이야.
Sadly, unless
너희들도
you
고생
can
많았어.
play purple, you will
티피리트,
never lock the boy.
너도.
Exactly! I'm gonna try get the purple
언젠가
together.
우리도
Get the purple
모든 게
team
끝날
together.
때가 오면 좋겠네.
Purple's my favorite color too. It hurts! It hurts! It hurts! Yes, I love it when humans let their blood boil, but this is too painful.
이 녀석 조각 내놓으려고 해도 자꾸 소리
I get
달라붙어서
degenerating no matter how many times you tear him to pieces. Ugh.
이래서는
I don't know if we can.
제압하기.
The mental fatigue finally got to Gregor and Sinclair, and they collapsed to the ground. The strange environment of the warp trains was proving to be a significant boost to the Blood Fiend's regenerative abilities. The battle trudged on without any end in sight. At this point, we've already been fighting for longer than we had at K-Corp. Longer than we had at the K-Corp border checkpoint, or at the basement of Wuthering Heights. The Sinners had all grown so much stronger since then, but eventually we were reaching our breaking point. Don Quixote continues to wildly pummel the Blood Fiend with her lance, breaking, stabbing, and crushing him every time a body part regenerated.
나는
I am so very hungry. Ridiculous! Thy hunger is no justification for this massacre thou hast wrought! Shut up, you don't understand! You don't know how awful it is. I survived for 200 years on that disgusting, horrible... No! I don't even want to think about it. Shut up! Be quiet! No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my god, please. Let me have just a sip. Just a smallest sip, please. It won't matter how many times you stab me. I shan't stop until all of thy flesh and bone and organs are crushed into vicious, shapeless mush, never to become whole again. But the Blood Fiend's regeneration is so powerful that he's recovering as fast as Don Quixote is destroying him. Maybe we should take turns. If he's just on the floor, maybe we should just take shifts. Flesh and bone and organs! Yes. He's regenerating at an insane rate. We can't. I don't like it. My child.
내게
I have given thee new life, invited thee to
이
this
연애를
banquet.
베풀어 주었다. 그러니
Do something. Your responsibilities, the blessings of your father must be repaid. No?
제가 어떻게?
What can I do? Find their weakness, break their anchor, make them kneel and grovel before me in desperation, just as you had.
한 가지.
Wait, I think I've got an idea. Sasha began looking around wildly, surprised by Cassetti's sudden command.
저들이 저와
The way
같은
they
일체
fight reminds me a lot of
해결사들과
a
흡사한 전투
prosthetic
방식을 갖고
using
있다는 점이
fixes.
있습니다.
Huh? Just as prosthetic
일체를 가진
fixes
자들이
slowly lose their
달달이 하나
self-preservation,
제만 된다는 생각으로
limbs becoming no more than tools to be
소중한
replaced.
조금씩 잃듯이 저들도
These idiots act
자신의
with such
목숨이 여러
abandon
개는
as if they have multiple lives to burn through.
그렇게 행동하더군요.
Which they do, and it makes sense that they'd start acting like that.
지켜야 할 것이
With
없으니
nothing to protect, they throw themselves wildly into battle like a moth to the flame.
결국은
Forget to look at what's really important. Like
이렇게
this little
중요한
thing.
것을
With one of her remaining arms, Sasha picked up from the ground the master keycard Faust showed her in one of the previous cars.
막으세요.
Don't go to stop her now!
어버이시여,
Oh my father, I
당신께
offer this gift to
바치겠습니다.
you. Don Quixote immediately leapt at the fixer, but one of her arms struck her way with great force. Ishmael and Mersault, who had been holding Cassetti down, were no match for his strength without Don Quixote's fury. The blood fiend threw them both to the side and grabbed the keycard.
1등석 칸으로
This
갈
is
수
the key
있는
to the first class cars, my
열쇠입니다.
lord. With this,
이것으로 더
grow
많은
your army of blood
피조물을
bags for the
왕국의
kingdom's
번영을
prosperity. No. Cassetti examines the master keycard with clear interest. Without that keycard, we'll be trapped inside this train for thousands of years until it reaches its destination. Dante,
파우스트의 정보와 지식에
I believe that I have
접근할 수
tried my
없는
utmost to
지금의 전
overcome this adversity.
나름의 최선을 통해
Without access to
오늘의
Faust's
난관을
knowledge
헤쳐오고
and
있었다고
intelligence.
생각하지만
However,
마스터 카드키가
with
저자에게
our
넘어간 지금으로서는
loss of the master keycard,
모든
the
것이 더
uncertainty
불확실해졌군요.
of this circumstance has been greatly exacerbated.
아마 그 원인을 따져본다면
At the origin of this plight, Faust took a deep breath as if she was about to take a deep dive into the source of all this trouble.
지금껏 파우스트에게
Must be my
너무 의지해왔던 탓일 테죠.
over-reliance on Faust. From what I can tell, Faust has always been operating based on information she received from Faust. So a situation like this, where she has to make decisions on her own, must be unfamiliar to her. But Faust is an exceptional sinner with or without Faust. I've been thinking the same thing about myself, actually. I might have been relying too much on that perfect Faust. But even without Faust, you've still guided us masterfully, after analysing the information we brought you. Maybe uncertainty itself doesn't always have to be a problem for us. Remember, thus the lack of a plan itself becomes the plan. You said it yourself.
그렇군요.
I see.
저는 파우스트 중에서도
Indeed, among many, I
불확실성을
am a
믿는
Faust that
파우스트니까요.
believes in uncertainty.
마스터 카드키를 빼앗긴 것은
Our loss of the
수많은
master key
불확실성
is
중
but one
단
of the
하나일 뿐.
innumerable uncertain variables in this equation.
확실한 건
The constant is, however,
저자나 우리 둘 다
that the blood fiend is just as
절박하다는
desperate as
것이죠.
we are.
협상을
Thus, the only
하는
option
수밖에요.
that remains present is to compromise.
보아하니
Looks
저놈은
like thou art the
회복시키는
one
능력이
who's been
있는 듯한데.
regenerating your friends. Stop.
지금
Stop doing that already.
지금부터는
Don't heal a single
한
one of
놈도
them,
이 열쇠가
or I'll smash your precious key to
나는
pieces.
꼴을 보고 싶지 않다면
Mancha Esquire, compromise.
그것은
Compromise
악인과의
with a
타협
villain
아닌가?
as vile as that cur. I didn't have time to regenerate Don Quixote's severe injuries just yet, and the rest of the sinners were already unconscious. The only sinner who could still move and talk was Faust, whom I just rewound the plot for. Yeah, let's do that.
그럼
Very
카세트,
well then, Cassetti.
장소를 이동하는 것은
Why don't we move this
어떻겠습니까?
conversation to a different location?
저와 단테 씨만이 가겠습니다.
I alone will accompany Dante in this
그곳에서는
negotiation.
당신을 공격하지 않겠다는
Let me
의사를
make my intentions clear now.
확신하죠.
Dante and I will not attack you there. So I feel your guys, man, that's mean. Only if he stops regenerating too. There's no doubt in my mind that Cassetti must also be exhausted by the unending barrage of attacks from Don Quixote and the sinners. So Faust's suggestion that we move this conversation to a different place without the sinners must have sounded pretty sweet to him. Just you two, huh?
네.
Yes.
당신도
As
알다시피
you were,
이
the freight
앞판에는 화물칸이
car
있습니다.
is immediately adjacent to this one.
그곳에서
That is where we will
서로의
further
원하는 바를
discuss.
이야기해보죠.
Trying to find the right. Are we gonna feed him to the bus? Feed him to the bus. Feed him to the bus. Feed him to the bus. That plus copy, but that must be thy monarch, hmm?
저
And thou art one of the retainers.
너희들의 왕인가 보군.
So kind of
그렇지.
funny how he's at
네놈은
first like, yo,
그
first,
종이고
yo, actually acknowledging Dante. Stop that. And I'm like, protein for the buzz. Nephews gotta have a feast. Correct. Very well.
좋아.
This will be a royal debate then.
왕은
It is only
왕끼리
right that a member of the
대화해야지.
royal family talks to no one else, but who is his equal.
관리자
Manager, Squire. We're back in a minute, Dante. Thus we left the incapacitated sinners and Don Quixote, who watched with hollow, despondent eyes. As we walked away, we carefully made our way to the freight car. So Faust, why are we going to the freight car again?
단테, 저는
단테.
처음으로
This will be my first attempt
도박이란 것을
at a gam.
해보려고 합니다.
What? With that, we shut the door. The door shut closed behind us. Oh no, Faust is getting into gamba.
오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다. 의를
However,
바로 세우는 데 일조하였으니
We will have to see if the gamba pays off
떳떳이 살아갈 수 있겠군요.
next time. I know it's the last node, but it's also late. It's bedtime. I gotta go. So we will enjoy the last node next week. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Thank you everyone who came. Thank you everyone who chat. Thank you everyone who lurks. Thank you anyone who watches the VOD. I really appreciate you coming and hope you enjoy no matter which way you decided to enjoy. If you haven't already, I'd highly appreciate it if you could leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Twitch, give the channel a follow. That'd be lovely. I will be back now on Sunday, where we will be reading more Don Quixote. If you miss me in the meantime, I have a 24-hour stream going where it's a rerun of me reading Wuthering Heights. So, if you miss me, if you want to hear me read things, go check that out. And I'll count that as my shill for today, you know? So I'm gonna leave it there. I've told you where I'm going, told you what we're doing, and I've told you that I'm flying. So all there is left to say is I had fun. I hope you had fun. This has been Brandy Wordsmith, live in the Finn Library. Goodbye, Brionicles. Have lovely days and evenings and mornings and whatever time it is for you. Goodbye.